Alright, hey everybody, we're going to talk today about the triangle inequality theorem. It's basically more discussion about the relationship between the lengths of the sides of a triangle. So in order for us to be able to put three side lengths together and form a triangle, the lengths of those sides need to be in this relationship, and this is the triangle inequality theorem. It means that if you take any two of the sides and add their lengths together, that measurement must be bigger than the length of the other side that you didn't choose. So for example, in this triangle here, I'm going to choose the two smaller sides, and this is the best way to do this. I want to test to see if I add 3 and 7, if they'll be bigger than the other side, 8. So 3 plus 7 is 10. It's bigger than the other side. So that means I could take side lengths that are 3, 7, and 8, and I could build a triangle. So let me do another example. I have 3 sides, 5 feet, 10 feet, and 15 feet, and I want to know if it's possible for me to build a triangle using those side lengths. So the way I'm going to check that is to take the two smaller sides, in this case 5 and 10, and I'm going to add them. And in order to be able to build a triangle using these 3 side lengths, this sum of my two smaller sides needs to be bigger than the side I didn't choose. So the side I didn't choose is 15 feet. The sum of my two smaller sides is the same, 15 feet. They're equal, not bigger, so I wouldn't be able to build a triangle with these 3 sides. So this triangle does not exist. Had that number been bigger than 15, then I would have been okay. So pause here and try this one on your own. So again, I'm going to choose the two smaller side lengths, in this case 4 yards and 6 yards. Now when I add them together, and when I add them together, that sum needs to be bigger than the third side. So 4 and 6 added together makes 10. That is bigger than the third side, which is 9. So this does exist. We can build a triangle that has sides that are 9 yards, 4 yards, and 6 yards. So we can determine whether or not I can build a triangle given 3 side lengths. We can also figure out the possibility of a third side length if we already have 2 of them. So in this example, I have sides that are 5 inches and 8 inches, and I want to know all the possibilities for the third side length so that I can build a triangle. So I'm going to use x as a variable. This is going to represent the third side length. So it's going to represent all the possibilities of my third side and how long it could be. I'm going to create an inequality, so I'm going to say that this third side length, it's going to have to be smaller than some value. Okay, the way we figure out what it has to be smaller than is we add the 2 sides we already know. So just like before, when we added 2 side lengths, that sum had to be bigger than the other side. So that's why we know that 5 plus 8 needs to be bigger than whatever our third side is. Our third side is also going to be bigger than some value, and the way to figure that out is to do subtract the sides we already have. So my third side length is going to be bigger than 8 minus 5. So we can do the subtraction and the addition, and we can simplify this inequality. So this says that my third side, x, needs to be bigger than 3 inches, and it needs to be smaller than 13 inches. So I can pick, if I wanted to build a triangle with sides 5 and 8, I could pick any value between 3 and 13, and I could make it my third side, and then I could build that triangle. So if I want to know the range, that's my range. Bigger than 3, smaller than 13. So go ahead here and find the range of possible third side lengths if you know that two sides are 4 meters and 7 meters. So I'll use x again. X is my third side length. It needs to be smaller than some number, and that's my two sides added together. It also needs to be bigger than some number, which is my two sides subtracted. Oh, I'm sorry, that should be a 4. So in this example again, I'm bigger than 3, and I need to be less than 11. So my range of possible side lengths is bigger than 3, smaller than 11. So you need to be a little bit careful here. Sometimes we'll ask you to give an example. So after you find the range, you pick a side length. You need to make sure you can't pick 3 and you cannot pick 11, because our side needs to be smaller than 11 and bigger than 3. So just a little kind of tricky situation there when they're asked that question. So 2 problems for you to do. The first one, I want to know if that triangle can be built, if it exists. And the second one, I want to know the range of possibilities for the third side length. Do them so that we can discuss them. You can ask me questions about them, and then we can practice.